everyone, welcome to our chair yoga class. Today we are going to be working on chair yoga for strength. So this class is fully supported. You'll be sitting in your chair or standing for most of our postures, but make sure that you have some hand weights, or if you don't have hand weights at your home, a couple of soup cans are great to use. And if you don't want to use weights at all, you can still do the motions with us. We're going to work on isolating certain parts of the body for muscle strength. And when you think about strength, sometimes we think of strong muscles or being able to have a lot of stamina. But really, strength just has to do with the capacity of a person or an object to be able to withstand a great amount of force or pressure. So as you approach this yoga class today, I don't want you to think of this class so much as I am working to build up lots of muscle, even though we will be doing movements that encourage that, but more that this class is about being able to find your strength. So whatever that looks like in your body and in your mind, whether you're practicing to be able to have strength and peace within, or looking for more strength without, whatever that is that you're approaching the practice with today, make sure to make it your own, to find your strong in the practice. Okay, so as we get started, have your mat, a chair that you can sit on, and make sure that your feet can be flat on the earth, and then some water handy. We're going to start in a seated posture, bringing our feet forward directly below the knees. Let's lift all 10 toes up off of the ground, spread them nice and wide, and then plant our toes back down on the earth. Start to really feel into your connection here into the mat. So whatever textures that you're feeling beneath your toes, or whatever cushion that you feel, start to just bring some awareness to that sensation of your feet connecting to the ground. Sometimes in chair yoga class, we leave our socks on, and that's perfectly fine if you want to have socks or something else on your feet. But I always love this first start of practice is just bringing your awareness to your surroundings, to your mat. And we're all practicing in different locations today. We're all practicing either from home or in a different room than what we might normally be practicing in. So being able to be adaptable and approaching your practice no matter where you are, and being able to bring that peace and sense of home within in that practice is so important. So we need to establish where we're at and get ourselves grounded and ready for the practice that we're going to be doing. Let's lift the heels up off of the earth and press the toes and the balls of the feet down. And notice as you start to press down into the floor, how it immediately helps your body want to sit up a little bit taller. Maybe you notice your abdominal muscles engage. We're sitting forward away from the back of the chair so that we can utilize the muscles on our back to really sit up tall. And on an inhale, we'll take our shoulders up to the ears and pause here. Shoulders are shrugged up, everything is crunched in. We're pressing down tight with the toes. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, roll your shoulders back and down, bring your heels to the earth. Notice your posture. How does it feel here when you're sitting tall, like that invisible string drawing from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head? Let's take the shoulders up again, leaving the feet where they are. Hold here, nice and tight. And then as you exhale, release the shoulders back and down along the spine. So you'll feel the shoulder blades connecting here. Collarbones are reaching wide in the front of the body. We'll bring the hands up to heart center in our Anjali Mudra. Thumbs are connected at the sternum. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze down toward the floor here as you take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. Start to establish your breath and notice that feeling of the breath coming in through the nose, how it fills the lungs, and then gently moving right back out again. Start to turn your thoughts inward. So taking note of how you may be feeling today, how the breath is feeling, if it's easy to take those deep, slow inhales, or if you've been feeling a sense of agitation or maybe some imbalance. So this is a time to be able to find our center, be able to get acquainted with ourselves here. And just learning to recognize ourselves a little bit better. You recognize what it is that you see within. Sometimes as we start to check in, we realize that we weren't even aware of some of the agitation that we may have been feeling or what's going on in the background, or maybe some stress to get to this place today where we could practice. Or maybe you were feeling really peaceful and happy, and coming to this practice today was like lightly floating to your mat and being able to sit and just give yourself some extra me time today to just be present and aware. So whatever it is that you're coming to your practice with, go ahead and acknowledge it and be aware of it here. Neither way is good or bad. But being able to notice and to be able to observe these thoughts and these feelings, letting them float in, acknowledging them for what they are, and then allowing them to float back out again, is one of those first practices of meditation. To be able to sit with yourself with a little more steadiness and ease. Let's take a deep inhale together. Exhale, let it go. On our next inhale, hold at the top of the breath. Pause here, sip in a little more air. Lungs are at full capacity. Exhale through the mouth. Cleansing breath all the way in and all the way out. Inhale once again, nice and slow, all the way to the top of the breath and hold. Sip in just a little more air. Nice and tight, and release. Cleansing breath all the way in, all the way out. So empty your breath completely before you begin your next inhale. And continuing your inhales through the nose, sealing the lips, we'll start to establish our breath for this practice. And for some of you that may be feeling like, when do we get to the movement? When do we get to the weightlifting? I want you to think about how you establish your body for conditions to be able to lift heavy objects, or how you set up yourself in this base of your practice, setting the foundation. We wouldn't want to start running before we stretched our muscles, and we wouldn't want to start engaging in any sort of practice before we prepared ourselves, and that includes our mind. So as we're developing more strength in the body, more strength in the mind, the first layer is to be able to establish that foundation, and everything else is going to build and organize on top of that. One more deep breath in, and breath out. So this breath awareness brings a little bit more strength also into the lungs. So you can think of it like a dumbbell exercise for your lungs, really strengthening those muscles. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out, contracting and opening, really creating more lung capacity and getting air way down low into those areas of the lungs that may not normally see that fresh air and oxygen, getting everything circulating a little bit more. On a breath in, let's take the arms out and up overhead, reaching to the sky, lengthening the elbows here, so really extending up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your elbows and hinge forward from the hips, bringing the elbows to the knees into camper pose. So we're spreading the fingers wide, pressing the feet down. We'll lengthen the crown of the head forward, so the back of the neck is long. So if you have a tendency to compress the spine by opening the throat, see if you can keep the chin down toward the floor to really lengthen the back of the neck. Notice the engagement here in this posture. Shoulders are turned on and pressing down, active with the arms. Shoulders are above the elbows, connected to the knees, and above the ankles. Hold here. One more breath in, and breath out. As you breathe in again, lift up from the core. Arms lift as you follow your inhale up to the top. Exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, elbows bend, connect with the knees. Pause here, one breath in and one breath out. As you inhale, start to lift up again, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands come back to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, elbows connect with the knees, camper pose. So you know which posture you're in now. You can hit it every time. You know the alignment, that engagement in your body. Inhale to lift back up. Exhale, find center. Last round through, circular, just like the breath. Your inhales lift and open. As you exhale, allow that emptying of the breath to contract down. One more deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, settle into this posture, holding strong with the fingers spread wide. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to take the right hand over to the left knee, and then take the left arm out to the side of the body. So we're sitting tall, sits bones are rooted to the earth. Keep the knees about hip distance apart. Feet are pressed into the earth. We're starting in a gentle spinal twist direction, so guiding the breath. Inhale, fill. As you exhale, take the gaze over to the left thumb. Feel that twist first through the cervical vertebrae of the neck. So this twist comes up and over. As you exhale next, take that left hand, sweep it back behind the body, reaching behind the line of the shoulder. So this twist is now deepening through the mid-back, through the thoracic spine. Your gaze is over that left shoulder. And as you feel that resistance in your body, pause there. Reach away from the body with the fingertips, lengthen the arm. Inhale, sweep the arm up overhead. Exhale, reset, crossing over, left hand on right knee. Inhale, take that bottom arm out and reach to the right side of the body. Sit tall. As you exhale, take the gaze over to that right thumb. Now this may be the extent of your twist, and you pause here. Noticing that twist of the muscles through the cervical vertebrae of the spine. One more deep breath in to fill. As you exhale, sweep that right arm back, reaching behind the line of the shoulder. We're keeping our legs in line, twisting now through the mid-back. Gaze is over the right shoulder. As you feel that resistance in your body, pause here. Lengthen the arm, reach away from your shoulder. Inhale, sweep the arm up, gaze follows as the arm crosses over to the left knee. On a breath in, take the chin up to the sky, lengthening the throat. Exhale, take the chin down, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, come back through center. Take that left arm out and reach it to the side. Gaze follows to that left thumb. Deep breath in. As you exhale, take that left arm back behind the body. Nice reach here. Then sweep the arm up overhead and arch over to that right knee. Reset your posture. Take the right arm out to the side. Gaze comes to that right thumb. Exhale, sweep that right arm back. Hold strong here, reaching and lengthening. Inhale, arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, crossing over. Inhale, take the chin up, lengthening the throat. Exhale, chin comes down toward the sternum, lengthening the back of the neck. Inhale, come back to neutral. We'll do one more time through. Left arm reaches. Gaze follows the thumb as your left arm sweeps back on an exhale. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over. Full shoulder warm up here. Take that right arm out to the side. Follow the breath. Exhale, right arm reaches back. Inhale, take the right arm up and over. Reset, crossing the arms. Inhale, the chin lifts. Exhale, take your chin down toward your sternum. Inhale, come back up. Go ahead and release the arms and we'll shake them out. Now bringing the hands down to the hips, we're going to start to march out the feet. Bring some movement into the lower half of the body. So with the fingertips pressed into the hip flexors, you're start to feel that connection to your legs, to the muscles in the legs working here. As you inhale, start to walk the feet out to the side. We only come to the edges of the chair, maybe out a little bit wider. On an exhale, walk the feet back in through center. Inhale, bring your feet out. Exhale, come back in. So you're going to start to feel this movement in your glutes. We're stretching gently through the hip flexors and the groin muscles here. So even small movements like this at first can start to have a big impact on the body. Do a few more rounds. Walk the feet out. Exhale, feet back in. If you have a tendency to sit a lot during your day, these muscles may become stiff and your joints may start to ache from lack of movement or staying in the same position for too long. So giving them a chance to move here gets the synovial fluids moving, cushioning the joints. Exhale, come back in through center. We'll pause here, finding stillness with the feet, reset our foundation. On an inhale, take the gaze up, belly draws forward, heart open, seated cow pose. Exhale, rounding the spine, tuck the chin down toward the chest, push your back toward the back of the chair, seated cat pose. Inhale to lift and open, coming back to cow pose. Exhale, round and close down. Inhale to lift. Let that movement originate from the base of the spine, ripple all the way up to the crown of the head. Following your breath pace, if you like to move a little bit faster or a little bit slower, continue through a few more rounds of your cat and cow. So we're starting to warm up our core all the way around. Internal organs are gently stimulated here. On your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Crown of the head lifts tall. We're going to take the arms out and up again, sweeping on an inhale. As you exhale, find camper pose, elbows to knees, or if you'd like to deepen your fold here, you can reach your arms down toward the mat, allowing the upper body to hang, and shake the head side to side, nod yes and no, releasing the neck. On an inhale, we'll straighten the spine, lifting up halfway, hands connected to the shins. Now, if you're in camper pose, your halfway lift may look like a modified cow pose, opening the heart, dropping the belly, just like we did in our cat-cow sequence. Exhale, fold back down, or find your seated cat pose, rounding the back. Inhale, lift all the way up, using that strength of the core. Follow through with the breath as your arms lift. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Again, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, find your forward fold, wherever it is for your body, whether that's all the way down to the floor or camper pose. Inhale to lift halfway, hands on shins or opening into cow pose. Exhale, fold and deepen or round into cat. Inhale, come all the way up, arms lift. Exhale, hands come to heart. Full sun salutation. Inhale to lift. We're still engaging the feet, pressing down into the mat. Sun salutations warm the whole body from the feet all the way up. So allow that breath to lift from your feet. Draw that energy up from the earth. Exhale, come back to center. One more time through. Inhale to round the arms high. Exhale, let the breath out, fold you down. Inhales, lift us halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. So all the movements that we participate in these sequences will be circular, just like our breath. We'll move through some alignment and get established with each posture, and then really start to lose ourselves in that meditative quality of the roundness of the breath. So let's bring our hands back to our hips. Again, spine is tall. We'll heel toe the feet out wide, setting up our foundation here. Lifting the heels, press the balls of the feet and the toes down into the mat. Feel that connection to the earth as you activate the calf muscles, activate the quads here, and then bring the heels down, lift the toes, spread them nice and wide. We want every part of the body energized. And then spreading your toes wide, plant them back down. We're going to bring the hands out to the knees, flaring the elbows open. So instead of the elbows staying down toward the rib cage, we're opening up, fingers are on the insides of the knees. Start to hinge forward from the hips, lengthening the spine, bow forward just until you feel that resistance in your body where you feel like that is your limit for your stretch, and pause there. We're gently guiding the knees open but not forcing this movement. So it's a deeper stretch through the hip flexors and into the groin. And then you have your glutes that are active, keeping the sits bones rooted to the chair. So if you're starting to lift up off the chair, see if you can bring your hips back down. Lift the crown of the head a little further so you're creating space in your vertebrae here. Start to notice that stretching of the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. See if you can fold forward just a little bit deeper, aided by the support of your hands here. One more deep breath in, deep breath out. As you inhale, start to lift up, using that strength of the core, come all the way up through center. We're going to take our right shoulder toward our right knee. So leaning here, allowing that left side of the body to lengthen. So as we start back at center, we're lifting tall and then leaning to the right, keeping the heart and shoulder open. Notice that length of the body from the left hip bone all the way up to the shoulder. Draw that left shoulder up and see if you can take your gaze to the sky. On an inhale, lift the left arm up and away from your shoulder, lengthen here. And then take your left fingertips and reach them past the line of the ear, extended side angle. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, sweep the left arm back down, reset on the knee, sit the crown of the head tall. Next exhale, leaning left shoulder toward left knee, lengthen the right side of the body and pause. As long as you can keep your right hip down and your sit bone rooted to the chair, the depth of this angle is all up to you. If you want to lean a little bit deeper, you'll feel that lengthening. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit more, bring that left arm up. Gaze comes up toward that right thumb, and then you're going to take the fingertips away from the shoulder, lengthen that right arm. One more deep breath, feel that stretch to the intercostal muscles in the ribs. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, reset your hand, crown of the head lifts. Let's take the shoulders up to our ears on an inhale. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Fantastic. We're going to heel till the feet back in through center. We've lengthened each side of the body. We're going to start working on our obliques. So these external oblique muscles help with the rotation of the trunk of the body. And as we strengthen our core and all of these muscles in the body, we're helping to hold in our internal organs, extremely important. But also it helps to aid in all of the other functions of the systems of the body. If you have weak sections of the body that are not holding things in and not structuring and propping everything up, it can start to lead to weakness in the other systems and functioning of your body. So we're going to reach for our weights. Whether you have your hand weights or you have your cans, we're going to take our weights in our hands, bring them up to the heart, and then reaching them forward and away from the body, we're going to take a deep breath in and exhale over to the left. So we're twisting from the mid back and reaching out and away. Your left elbow is going to bend a little bit here, reaching a little bit longer with your right arm. Come into the heart. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, come back through center. Go ahead and release your weights down to your lap. Beautiful. Come back up to the heart. Reach the weights away, and then twist to the right. Twisting through the mid-back, bending that right elbow just a little bit more so that you can really extend through the left arm. Come into the heart. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, come back through center, and then come back to the heart. We'll do this a couple more times. If you want to change up your weights, maybe holding one, or if one was really easy and you want to add a second one, go ahead and do that. Come back through center, reset at the heart. Place the weights down on your lap if you like. Inhale, come back. Extend and reach. Twist over to the right. Come back through the heart. So this movement is strengthening through the arms and the shoulders, as well as through the core. We'll start to feel this twisting motion and that strength through our abdominals as we move. Okay, last round through. Hands at the heart. Reach out and away. Twist to the left. Come into the heart. Extend the arms. Twist to the front. Back through the heart. Reset down at the lap for one breath if you like. Come back through center. Reach away. Twist to the right. Come into the heart. Lift out and away. Back through center. Reset the blocks down or your weights, whatever it is that you're using. Woo, excellent. We're going to have just one weight this time. We're going to hold the weight in our left hand and reach it down to the side of the body as we take our right hand to the side of the chair for a little bit more stability. We want to start off sitting tall here with the spine. And then as you exhale, start to lower that left side down, coming into a crescent shape. So we still want to lift up with the spine and then start to curve over like a teapot, pouring out. Use that support of the right hand if you need, but keep the sits bones rooted so that you're really using the strength of the muscles to lift back up. Inhale, lift. So we're utilizing this left side of the body, crunching down. Inhale, come back up. We'll do 5 rounds of teapots here. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Go ahead and switch sides. Taking the weight over to the right hand. Gently lower the arm down to the side of the body, shoulders away from the ear. Left hand comes to the edge of the chair, sit up tall on an inhale. As you exhale, lower down on the right side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, back up. Couple more rounds. Go ahead and reset, bringing the hands back together. Let's do a couple more of our dumbbell twists. Bringing the hands to the heart, we'll reach out and away. Exhale, twist from the mid-back. Come into the heart center. So just like when we were doing those open twists and sweeping the arms forward and out before, notice where that twist originates from the mid-spine. So we're just adding on a little bit of weight resistance here in our dumbbell twists. One more round on each side. Connecting again the movement with your breath to be mindful in the way that you move and not overshooting your limits. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and set our weights down. Now bringing the hands back to the hips, we'll start to march out the feet once more. We're going to walk the feet forward and back, really starting to lengthen the back of the legs now. So starting to warm up the knees and feel into the hamstrings. Couple more rounds here. You'll start to notice this activating in the lower belly. We're getting all of the abdominals fired up and ready. You may be feeling this now, that strength of the back as we've been sitting up away from the chair. We're not utilizing that back rest to help hold us up, but we're using all of our muscles in our core here. And if you've lost connection to your breath, see if you can come back here like we did at the beginning of practice. Take a slow inhale, fill all the way to the top, and then as you exhale, let it go with control. So you let the breath lead first. Beautiful. Let's bring our feet back in through center. We're going to scoot forward on the edge of our chair just so that we can lengthen our legs a little bit more. The right leg is going to come forward and down, planting the heel, flex the foot, drawing the toes up toward the face, straighten the knee just as much as you can here. We don't want to lock the joints, but we do want to feel that stretch on the back of the leg. Then extending the left leg out, heel down. We're going to lift that left leg up so that the heel can hover over that right toe and start to pulse that left leg up and down, maybe tapping on top of the right toe. You're going to feel this work through the quad on the left side and definitely into the hip. And if you want a little bit more support, you can bring your hands down to the side of the chair. Just make sure you're still prioritizing that length of the spine. Fantastic. Few more rounds here. Strengthen the legs. Strengthen stamina in the breath. 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1. Go ahead and release that left leg down. We'll rebend both legs and go ahead and shake them out. Now lengthening the left leg forward and down. Plant your heel, flexing the foot. This foundation here is what's going to hold us steady as we lift. So making sure that we have that sensation in the back of the leg through the hamstring, stretching here, active through the toes. And then lengthening the right leg down, finding our balance at the edge of the chair, bringing the hands down to the side of the chair for a little bit more support. Then lifting the right leg up, heel hovers over the left toe, start to pulse here. So the movement doesn't have to be very big to be significant. What we really want is that activation through the legs so that we can feel that work through the quadriceps, through the hip flexors, so that we're really working on lengthening, working the muscles of the groin here. Okay, so strengthening, which really helps when it comes into the need for balance, whether we're walking, going up and down stairs. These groin muscles do so much work for us. And if you've ever pulled a groin muscle, you know it affects the way that you get in and out of your car, the way that you move in so many different ways. So as we give ourselves time to work on these muscle functioning, we're able to regain some of that strength that we may have lost over time or due to injury or whatever it is that we're coming here to our chair practice for. Couple more rounds, 3 and 2 and 1. Go ahead and release that right leg down, bend both knees, shake them out. Fantastic job. Whew. Okay, we're going to find some stillness with the feet, plant them down again on the mat here. Bring our hands to our hips and walk the feet out nice and wide. Now, we want to be able to have our hand weights handy, and you can just have one at a time here. We're going to set it down right in the center in front of us while we have our feet out wide. And get set up for some work with extended side angle, and we'll be doing some bent side row type of movements. So if you don't want to use a weight for this next part, you can still do the movements with your arms without it. But this is going to be a whole back, core, and shoulder movement. So setting our foundation with our feet nice and wide, we're going to take our arms out on an inhale, reach long, spread the fingers here, really activate through the hands, and then bring the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to bend that left elbow, coming to the left side of the body first. So similar to when we did this movement earlier, just lengthening each side of the body and our lats, we're now bringing that left elbow down, spinning that left palm up to the sky. Right arm is still reaching out to the side of the body. So feel this expanse and length here. Feel free to take up some room. So give yourself permission to be really big in this movement. Then taking the right arm up and away from the shoulder, we're going to lean to the left side. Fingertips draw up and over from the ear. Now on an exhale, sweep that right arm down in front of the body. Inhale, come back up. We're going to do a few rounds of arm circles, but if this is too big of a movement for your shoulder, feel free to keep the movement down low or wherever you need to feel this length and extension and explore that movement through your arm and your neck. With each inhale, you're going to sweep up. With each exhale, lower the arm back down, exploring the entire rotator cuff here. And you find your connection to this movement that is smooth and is also kind in your body. So we're building up our muscles here, setting that foundation again, conditioning for the next movement that we're going to do. See if you can slow down your movement along with your breath, taking that full range of the inhale and exhale to really feel into the muscles of the neck and down into the shoulder. On your next exhale, sweep the arm down. We're going to reach for our weight. We want to be able to hold it here toward the shoulder. So we're going to turn the upper body down toward our leg, reaching that arm down nice and long. Inhale, take the weight up to the line of your shoulder. Exhale, reach it back down. Inhale, lift up to your shoulder. Elbow is bent in like a chicken wing here. Exhale, lower that weight down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, down. Now you can continue through this movement. If you don't have a hand weight and you're just using your hands, make sure that you're still lighting up each part of the body with energy. So instead of having just like a loose hand and bending your elbow, see if you can really reach, extend with the fingertips, come back up, keep that hand open, lifting the heart. As you inhale, you lift and open just a little bit more. We're going to add on some more challenge. So whether you're staying right here, body stationary, trunk down toward the floor, or you're starting to open up the heart a little bit, really pressing down with that left elbow to lift and open. See if you can find your strength in this posture. Where does the challenge need to be for your body? And then we're going to add on just a little bit more if you like. Inhale, come through the shoulder, extend that arm up and away from the lower half of the body. Bring that elbow down, weight towards the shoulder, and then reach toward the earth. Inhale, come back up and lengthen. Exhale, extend and down. A couple more rounds here. Connect here with your breath, finding your strength in this pose. For 3, for 2. Last one, reach nice and strong. Exhale, bring your weight all the way down to the mat. We're going to inhale the right arm up and away from the shoulder. Lengthen here, using that strength of the core. Reach the right arm back toward the right side of the body, and then left arm lifts, come back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's heel toe the feet back in to the middle of our mat. Give them a nice shake out. Okay, take a break for water if you need. And then we'll reset our foundation, heel toe the feet out wide. Set your weight over toward that right leg. As you inhale, sweep your arms out first here, get nice and big. Fill with your breath. As you exhale, bend that right elbow, come down to your right thigh. Now, the length of the bend here is up to you. So the degree to which you bend toward your knee, you can take your elbow out toward your right knee a little bit more. Lift up a little bit higher if you like less of an angle. We're going to take that left arm up and away from the shoulder. Exhale, sweep that left arm down. Start to find a connection with this movement that follows your breath. So allowing your inhale to start and then move open. Wait for your exhale to start before you lower the arm. Notice this change in sensation on this side of the body. Maybe as it felt to the first side, and feel into that lengthening on your left side through the intercostal muscles. Again, if you want to keep your arm circles down low at first, feel free to start low here and maybe gradually increase the size of your circle. Couple more rounds of breath. Really make sure you warm up the whole shoulder here, as we're going to be doing some movements that really require a lot of steadiness and strength through the arm and the shoulder. On your exhale, sweep that left arm down. Go ahead and reach for your weight. We're turning the upper body toward that bent right leg. Support it here and strong through the right arm. And then as you reach for your weight, find where your arm can hang gently down so that you're not straining to reach down to the floor, but have your left arm extended. Then as you inhale, bend the elbow, draw the weight up to your shoulder, keeping the chest squared toward the mat and to the earth, and then lower your arm back down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. So practice this movement a couple of times. Get acquainted with how it feels in your body. And if you're not using a weight and just using your hands, Remember to keep your hands active. Really lift and open and exhale to lower. If you want to add on a little bit more, you'll start to twist slightly as you open your shoulder and your heart, keeping this weight here at the line of the shoulder. Exhale, reach down. Inhale to lift and open the heart forward. Exhale, lower. So you'll do this a couple of times through. And then if you want to add on from here, you'll inhale, take the shoulder up and extend the arm up and away. Exhale, back through the line of the shoulder and down. But all the while, we want to keep that length through the spine. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. So if you have a tendency to start to bring your shoulders up towards your ears, see if you can lengthen here. Keep your shoulders down as you reach your arm through. Couple more rounds. 4, 3, and 2. Last one, reach tall, and then exhale all the way down to the mat. Go ahead and take that left arm up and away from the shoulder. Lengthen here, then using that support of the core, reach that left arm toward the left side of the body. Come all the way up, right arm extends, hands back to heart center. Go ahead and heel toe the feet back in. We'll shake the arms out. Okay, so by now you're probably feeling this in through the shoulders, through the deltoids, maybe into the triceps a little bit too. And we'll do some tricep work here in a minute, but we're going to take the weight off to the side. Reset our foundation nice and strong in center. Take the shoulders up on an inhale. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, shoulders release. All right, finding your posture nice and tall. Once again, we'll reset the hands on the knees. And we're going to start to practice a couple of movements with our triceps, and then we'll incorporate the weights. So the first thing that we're going to do is take the arms out and up overhead. Keep the palms connected together, bending the elbows, draw the fingers back and behind the line of the base of the skull, so toward the spine. And you want to try to keep your elbows in toward your ears as much as you can, so upper arms are in line with your ears. Notice this stretch here through the triceps. So we're really extending from the elbow into the shoulder here. And then take the elbows up just a little bit more if you can, almost like you're reaching back behind your head. One more deep breath in, deep breath out. Lengthening the arms up again. Go ahead and release down to the side of the body. We'll shake it out. On an inhale, we'll take just the right arm up. Exhale, bending that elbow, draw the right fingertips down so that you're reaching your fingertips toward your shoulder or wherever you're able to reach here, whether it's at about a 90-degree angle or reaching down toward that left shoulder or all the way down toward your spine. Find your connection to this movement here. Okay, so we want to find our posture and then hold. If you want to add on, you can take the left arm, sweep it behind the body, bend the elbow so that the fingertips draw up. Now your fingers may reach together or they may not. They may just be reaching toward each other, which is wonderful. We're really twisting through the shoulders here, stretching through the arms, lengthening. And we want to try to reach the upper elbow toward the sky as the lower elbow reaches toward the earth. One more deep breath in Gomukhasana. As you exhale, release the fingertips if you're holding, or just take the arms out, reset back at center. Go ahead and shake them out. Find some stillness with the arms. Take the shoulders up toward the ears. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Now reaching the left arm up and away from the shoulder, lengthen here. Then bending the left elbow, take the fingertips and draw them down toward that left shoulder. Again, your arm may only reach to about 90 degrees. You may be able to reach toward your right shoulder, maybe a little bit further here. So wherever you are with your tricep stretch, find your place where you can hold in stillness. And there will be a challenge to this posture, but we don't want to feel pain or any sharpness that indicates that we've overpulled or overshot where our joints can be today. So you find your place in this posture. And if you'd like to add on, you take the right arm, sweep it back, bend the elbow, draw the right fingertips up, reaching toward the left fingertips. Maybe the side of the body is able to connect and bend just a little bit deeper, or maybe not quite so much. Maybe the first side was easier and this one has a little bit more of a challenge. So wherever you're at with this posture, just go ahead and settle into it. And be aware that neither is better or worse, but it's just a matter of noticing how your body is feeling in this side, maybe as compared to the first side. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, release your fingers, arms reset, come back through center, go ahead and shake them out. Find some stillness with your arms. Take the shoulders up to the ears on an inhale. Exhale, shoulders down. Fantastic. Let's incorporate our weights this time. And again, weights are always optional. I'm going to be using just one hand weight for this movement, and starting first on my lap. And we're going to hold the weight so that we're in a bit of a diamond shape. So if you don't have a weight, you're going to create a diamond with your index fingers connected on your thumbs. So almost like if you're doing a diamond push-up. So if you imagine pressing away from your body into the shape, you want to have your palms flat. So if you were on the earth, you'd be pushing away. If you inhale, you come back to your nose. Okay, this type of movement. So if you have your weight, you're going to create that diamond shape around the base of your weight. If you are using a cam, you can still create that same diamond shape, but you don't have the lip to hold the weight. So just make sure that you have a good grip here. And then we're going to inhale, lifting up above the head, press that diamond shape toward the sky, as if you're doing a push-up on the ceiling here. Hold strong. As you exhale, bend your elbows, draw that weight back behind the line of the base of the skull. Inhale, press up and away. Exhale, lower that weight back down. So if you're just using your hands, you're still going to make that same motion. Pressing up toward the sky, exhale, lower down, inhale, press back up. So every time you reach up, you reset your diamond. It's going to collapse a little bit as you reach behind the base of your head and then extend long, but we want to try to keep our upper arms in a static position here so that our upper arms aren't flaring out. We don't want to have this kind of movement. We want to have those elbows pointed up. We're reaching that weight up and away. Couple more rounds here. If you're using your hand weight, you might really be feeling it now. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale down for 3, for 2, and 1. Lengthen here. We're going to bend the elbows, bring that weight back to the shoulder, and then lower down to our lap. Go ahead and shake out the arms. Maybe feeling it in the shoulders here now. We're going to do a couple more triceps exercises. Come back to your weight, or if you want to change things up, maybe use a weight this time or forgo the weight. That's perfectly fine. Create your diamond shape. Find your strength here. Bending the elbows, lift the weight up and away from the upper body. Set up your arms first here so that your upper arms are in line with your ears. Create that strength through the upper arms so that your wrists and hands can be guided where to go, but you're keeping your elbows lifted. Bending the elbows, draw that weight back behind the line of the skull. Inhale to lengthen and press up and away. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. Do this a few more rounds. You find your connection to strength in this posture, so whatever that looks like for you, even if you want to pause in one place or another and hold for a breath or two, and then come back into this movement. See if you can find a continuous and smooth movement, just like your breath. Gentle pause at the top of the inhale and pause at the base of the exhale. Last round through. As you inhale, press that weight up and away. Go ahead and come back to your shoulder and release down. Shake out the arms. Beautiful work. All right, we're going to grab for both weights this time if you have two. If you don't have weights or don't want to use them, you can still just utilize this movement with your hands instead. We're going to be bowing forward, hinging from the hips about 45 degrees. And I'm going to have you use just one weight. We're going to switch things up. We're going to take the left arm and bend it across both of our knees. And keep this hand active. Palm can be turned up to the sky. If there's a mudra that you're working with right now, maybe connecting to your mudra here. We're going to keep the upper arm in line with the side of the body. So as I turn to the side, you'll be able to see this a little bit better. We're hinging forward, placing our hand down, keeping the upper arm in line with our body, and then keeping that hand weight in toward the shoulder just to set up here. As you exhale, straightening the arm back here, palm is turned up toward the sky, and then spin that palm back in line with the body, come back to the shoulder. Inhale as you do so. Exhale to lengthen, flip your palm up. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lengthen, flip. Inhale, come back. Exhale, lengthen, flip. Inhale, come back. So it becomes a smooth and continuous movement, but you do want to be able to hit that extension every time. So taking your time nice and slow, really working through the muscles of the upper arm. You'll feel this through the triceps, through the delts. You've got that twist movement, strengthening the forearms here. Beautiful. One more. Come back and then sit up nice and tall, reset other side. So you can stay seated forward if you like. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. We're going to hinge forward from the hips about 45 degrees. So we're creating a V shape with our body. Take that right arm down and across both knees for support. Turn the palm up to the sky, staying active here. You can find a mudra if you like. I just have my index finger and thumb barely touching. Rest of the fingers are connected together, extended straight. Keep that left arm in line with the body. Elbows in tight, hand weight to your shoulder. As you exhale, lengthen your arm out behind you and then turn that palm up to the sky. As you inhale, reset back toward the shoulder. Exhale, lengthen, turn your palm up. Flip it back, inhale, come back toward your shoulder. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, back. We'll do this a few more rounds, following your breath. Slow and steady with your movement, finding that strength through the upper arms, through your muscles here, finding that steadiness and ease, so staying controlled with your breath. This is why sometimes having a mudra can really help aid in that focus of the mind. Just barely touching and not touching. Last round through. Inhale, come back. We'll sit up nice and tall and reset. Okay, let's set our hand weights off to the side. Go ahead and shake out the arms. We've done a lot of upper body work today. So we're going to incorporate our legs. We're going to stand up all the way and come around to the back of the chair. You can leave your chair where it is, or if you like, you can scoot it forward on your mat just a little bit, create some length back behind you, just as long as your weights aren't going to get in the way. We will be utilizing just a little bit of the sides of our mat here. So standing behind your chair, bring your hands to the back of your chair and step your feet out wide to the edges of the chair. Toes are turned out in that same direction that your knees are going to go, about 45 degrees. But keep your heels connected to the mat so that you still have some grip. Pressing the toes down equally into the earth, stand up tall on an inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees, lower your hips down toward the earth. Pause when you get about parallel with your thighs if you're coming down that low. On an inhale, draw that energy in and up through the pelvic floor, lift all the way. Exhale, release. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees, lower your hips down, coming into our goddess squat. Pause here. Draw that energy in and up through center, lift the crown of the head, stand tall. Exhale. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, bending from the knees, bring the hips down. Beautiful, holding strong in this energy here. And then draw that energy in and up through the center. Press the feet away from the earth and exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bending the knees, come into your squat. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, you can take your arms out like cactus arms, spread the fingers wide. Inhale, draw that energy in through center. Press the feet down into the earth, extend the legs away, and exhale, bring the hands back to your chair. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the knees, come into your goddess squat. Find your balance, challenge here, hold strong. Inhale, draw that energy in and up, extend the legs, bring the hands back to the base of the chair. All right, we're going to heel toe the feet in to center, start to walk your feet out, and behind you, hinge forward from the hips, bringing that crown of the head down toward your chair so that you're in a modified downward facing dog. So however far back you want to walk your feet is up to you. You're going to feel this stretch isolated in the back of the hamstrings, but bend the knees deeply to really lengthen the spine. We're stretching away with the shoulders here. Hands are still connected to the back of the chair. We're keeping the elbows long. And then bending the right knee, we'll lift the right heel up off of the earth, plant the right heel down again. Left knee bends, lifting that left heel. Exhale, bring that left heel back down. So walking out our dog just a little bit. Lifting the right, lifting the left. Bending the knees and then straightening again. So really feeling into our hamstrings here. As you inhale, look forward toward the back of the chair. Start to walk the feet all the way back up into that line of the chair. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do just a couple more movements with the upper body. Taking about 2 steps back from the back of your chair, we're going to hinge forward from the hips just so that we can bring our forearms to the back of the chair. Bring the hands together here. So we have ourselves fully supported by our chair. And if you want a little more stability, you can always bring your hands down to the seat of your chair. You'll be folding forward just a little bit more, but we're going to be balancing on one leg, and we'll walk into it so that you don't have to overshoot. But we're going to take that right leg, bend the knee, straighten that right leg back so that the toes find the earth first. So starting to straighten that right leg back, and then when you're ready, hinge forward from the hips, lift that right leg up off of the earth, just slightly hovering the feet. And then maybe lifting that right leg up and back. We're going to keep the hips squared toward the mat this whole time. So if you need to reset and think about where your hips are in relation to the chair and to the mat, make sure that you can keep them aligned. And then gradually we add on little by little. Take that right foot back, toes touch. Hover just that right foot. As you do so, you're going to be feeling more of that isolation in your left leg and into the glute here. It takes a lot of strength in that left leg standing on the earth. That left foot and your left toes are doing a lot of the effort here. Keep a slight bend in that left knee as you're lifting your right leg back into a modified warrior 3. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your right leg back down to meet the left. Walk the feet back up to the base of the chair. Hands come to the back of the chair. Stand tall. Deep breath in Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, release. Finding that place of center again with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. So whenever we get ourselves into different shapes or movements where we may be starting to feel a little bit of strain, a little bit of work, maybe a shape that's unfamiliar or causes us to feel wobbly, we want to come back to a place of stillness, be able to come back to that place of center. Let's walk the feet back just a couple of paces. Hinging forward from the hips, we want to bring the forearms to the chair, palms together. Again, you can always bring your hands to the back of the chair if you like a little bit deeper bend in the hips here. Set up your foundation with your hips squared towards the chair, and then step that left foot back. Toes find the earth first. Feel stable here, and if this is your balance and you're just working on reaching that left leg back while the right leg takes on a little bit more of the effort, that's excellent. Again, building strength is about building that strong foundation, so we're conditioning our body to be able to do those bigger lifts. So as you work on keeping that balance with your right foot strong through the glutes and through the quads of the leg, as you press down into the earth, see if you can gently lift the left toes up, hovering first. Notice how that changes the engagement of the right leg. As soon as you lift one leg off of the ground, the other leg starts to call into action. Maybe the left leg lifts up a little bit higher, reaching that left heel back like you could stand on the wall behind you. Hold strong here. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Go ahead and lower that left leg all the way down to meet the right. Bring your hands back up to the back of the chair. Walk your feet forward and go ahead and shake them out. We're going to bring our chair back into center and then come around again to our seat. Resetting our foundation, bring your feet below the line of the knees, lift the heels up off of the earth, press the balls of the feet and the toes into the mat. Lower the heels back down and then lift the toes up, spreading them nice and wide. Really activating the arches here. Press the four corners of the feet down into the mat. And then spreading the toes, we'll plant them down on the mat once again. Inhale, shoulders lift up to the ears. Exhale, shoulders release. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale, shoulders relax. Let's take both arms up on an inhale. Take the right fingertips around the left wrist. Left palm turns up to the sky. And then we'll take a crescent stretch over to the right side of the body, lifting and lengthening. On your inhale, come back up through center, part the hands, lift the gaze, and then reset other side. Left fingers find the right wrist, right palm up to the sky, and then lean to the left side, crescent stretch. So we're really lengthening through the intercostal muscles and then under the arm, into the shoulder, and then up through the elbow to the fingers. Inhale, come back through center, release the hands, exhale, hands come back to the heart. We're going to take both hands down to the hips and lengthen the right leg forward and down. So you may need to scoot forward on your chair just slightly to get that right leg lengthened. We're going to point the toes away from the face and then flex the foot again. Do this a couple of times and find a rotation with the ankle in both directions. So as we've just been standing on our legs, now we're releasing all of those joints, tension of the muscles. Come back through center, bringing the right toes up toward the face once again. right leg is long. Let's bring the hands over to that left knee. Sit up tall through the spine. Exhale, bend forward, hinging from the hips, leaning into that left leg, a modified Janusirsasana. So we're looking for that sensation through that right hamstring lengthening here. And with each inhale, we'll lengthen the spine, reaching just a little bit longer, creating space here in the vertebrae. With each exhale, lower just a little bit deeper. We'll stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Full inhales and full exhales. On your next inhale, start to lift back up, crown of the head reaches tall. Bring the hands back to the hips and bend that right knee. Go ahead and shake it out. Finding stillness again with your feet. Lengthen that left leg forward and down, heel plants. We're going to point the left toes and then flex them up toward our face. Point and flex, and then find some rotations with the ankle here in both directions. So again, really loosening up our joints, loosening up the muscle grip in our legs, and then flexing the left toes, drawing them back up. Plant the heel down so that you feel that lengthening in the hamstring on the back left leg. Bring both hands to that right knee, sit up tall. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips, come into your Janusirsasana on this side. When you feel that place of resistance in your left leg, pause there. With each exhale, lower just a little bit deeper into your stretch. If you want to add on a little more sensation and you're finding that this is feeling a little bit too easy, you can always bring your forearms down to your knee, bow forward just a little bit more, grabbing opposite elbows, or draw your arms down to the mat. As long as you're feeling stable here on your chair, bowing into a little bit deeper of a fold. But wherever you are in your Janusirsasana, connect again to your breath. Find your connection to this posture and your strength in this pose. See if you can hold steady for 3 rounds of breath. On your next inhale, lift the crown of the head back up. Bring the hands to the hips, rebend that left knee. Go ahead and shake it out. If there's any final movement that you feel like your body needs, any gentle twist, any stretch, go ahead and take that now. And we're going to meet together in Shavasana. So bringing the back of the body into the rest of the chair, or laying down on the mat. You can find a traditional Shavasana laying completely flat on the earth, or bring your legs up to the wall if you have a wall handy. You can also lay on your back on the mat, bending your knees, drawing your legs up to the chair. Let's turn the palms up to the sky, bringing the backs of the hands to the knees, or maybe down to the sides of our body if we're laying on the mat. And then take the chin slightly down toward the chest so that we can lengthen the back of the neck, whether you're laying on the mat and feel that full connection of the spine to the earth, or you're in the chair. Let's bring the gaze down toward the floor, softening the eyes, and start to scan the body for tension, beginning at the crown of the head, softening that space between the eyebrows, allowing the eyelids to close and everything relax down, becoming heavy. Allow the fingers to curl naturally in toward the palms. Notice your hips, your legs, your ankles, and your feet. Everything relaxing down toward the earth. Start to identify that place inside where you feel the most strength, where you felt the most connection today during your practice. Whatever it is that brought you here to your mat, or what it was that you were practicing for today, notice that intention again and see how it showed up for you throughout your practice. Where were you able to find the most strength? Where were you able to identify the areas that need to have strength cultivated, maybe with a little bit more focus and deliberate practice? Sometimes the answers can surprise us. Sometimes there's something that we were already aware of. Allow any thoughts, emotions, colors, or words that show up for us at this time to ride along the top of your breath. Begin to bring some movement back into the fingers and the toes. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up, reaching away from the head, lengthening away from the feet. As you exhale, bring your hands back down along the side of the body, maybe resting on the knees if you're still in your chair. If you're on your mat, go ahead and roll onto your favorite side, taking a breath or two there, and pausing before you come back up to a seated posture. And if you're seated in your chair, go ahead and sit forward away from the rest of the chair. Bring your hands up to your heart center. We'll meet all together here. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. Begin to see yourself here with eyes of loving kindness and with gratitude for all that your body has been able to do today. The movement that you're able to participate in, the strength of your body and your mind to cultivate virtues and qualities that you want to work on both on and off the mat. This practice is a time for self-reflection. It is truly a journey to the self, through the self. So whatever it is that you were able to learn about yourself today or find more about yourself, I hope that you were able to recognize who you were within, able to find what truly moves you and truly inspires you. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Thank you all for being here to practice with me today. It's so nice to be able to still find some familiar shapes and a familiar process even during this time of lockdowns and still being sheltering in place. And I'm grateful for all of you joining me throughout these online classes that we've been participating in. So until we're able to practice again in person, know that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste. I hope that you'll take the time to check out some of the other online classes we have here in our Bridge Yoga library. And if you've enjoyed your classes here on YouTube, I hope that you'll consider a donation to our Studio Venmo account. It is at bridge_yoga_Loomis, Loomis. And I hope you all have a beautiful week.